Hi parents, class of 2021 parents. Anyway, in this video, this will be a very short video. I'm super concerned that though we had a big meeting with over 70 families present, that we have not adequately got out the word concerning the SAT and where it stands in this COVID situation that we find ourselves. And actually, I should say the response that we as a society here in California anyway, have decided to have to the virus. Now, I want to be very clear that our response to COVID virus in this state, in the area of closing our schools, totally closing our schools until some very low positivity goal is met, is unique in the United States. Please try to remember that when I say a few things to you about colleges and the SAT, like I'm going to say in just a minute. Again, first of all, it's probably good to remember that a lot of you are finding that the August 29th offering of the SAT will not be valid. In other words, will not be offered anywhere in the state, the SAT. And that's because 98% of the locations for the SAT are CSUs, other colleges, and mostly high schools, all of which have been closed by the state health order. And the unions have stood behind that. In the case of the schools, I don't know who's available to even open schools. As for private schools, if they choose to individually challenge the law and take legal action, they might be able to be open, but most have not. They're in a tough position because they're scared to not have school and the effect on their enrollments. They could cease being a viable organization without tuition. If you remember, they're already having trouble supporting their schools as it is. So I'm going to leave them out of this, but I'm noticing most of them have also canceled their SAT offerings anyway. So nevertheless, I'll go ahead and continue. No August 29th. Many of them have told you they will not have a offering for September or October. You're having trouble finding sites. Those of you who have found sites, I have a question for you, a very important question for you indeed. And that question is, what will change at the end of September and October? I mean, right now we're under orders to close. Even if the schools open, major teacher unions have said, and then the Teamsters have backed them, that they will not go back into the schools. West Angeles Education Enrichment Program foresees a future where potentially California students will not have but one chance, if even that, to take the SAT. In fact, deep inside of me, I think there won't be any opportunity to take it. College people I talk to tell me, we'll just wait and see, is what they say. But I know that the numbers that the governor has asked for us to not have cases above a certain positivity are going to be very hard to reach for Los Angeles County, certainly, and probably most of the state. And then there's the issue of, well, if one area says it's okay, can they go ahead and start school? It'll be a political mess, whatever happens there. I don't see that changing, which means there won't be any SAT from California students. Now, I know a lot of you are concerned about that. Hi parents, Deacon John Wilson here. Just a really short video this time on how colleges will deal with the SAT situation in California. Well, now that the August test is pretty much not going to happen and the September and October are in serious doubt. My thought is that the College Board probably could have had tests here, but didn't do it. Because you remember, California is the only state where all the schools were locked down. Maybe College Board just didn't understand. I think there were ways we could have had testing here, could have had it outside, larger venues, social distancing, but no need to go through all that. It's not going to happen. It didn't happen already. and I don't run the college board. So there you go. So we could get to December and students only have one test or no tests. I believe that that will accelerate faster the test optional, because any private school in the West, more than half their students come from California. And I think that's going to make all of them go just totally waive the requirement, like Seattle Pacific has done, and like Whittier College just did recently, and University of Laverne, et cetera. They'll continue to drop the SAT as a requirement for class of 2021. As far as the Eastern schools, same thing. I see that happening because, you know, there'll be isolated other cases where students didn't get to take it enough, but certainly our California students. Now, what other schools might do is just have different criteria for California students and save slots for them and figure it out that way. If they really want to go, they can go, kind of thing. But I think that student that has a low GPA anyway, like below 3.0, below 2.7, and was trying to go to private school by having a high SAT score, I feel that student is out in the cold this year. And that's because basically their grades weren't high enough to overcome not having tests. All right, I hope that helps. I think that students can still take the SAT prep and can sign up for the SAT, but if it's not offered, I don't think students will be damaged that much because of the schools changing their options. Now, the problem with us is if you bought prep from us and never got prep, we can't refund that SAT prep money because we did teach you. And I'm really sorry, but I paid the teachers, so I can't really do much. I can keep offering review prep for free all the way leading up to the final test. All right, I hope that helps parents. That's where I think we are. There is a school of thought that says, and in fact, I'll just say it, you can build a perfectly good college list of schools that do not require the SAT. I mean, the CSUs aren't even reading it. UCs are test optional to start off. You can make a nice college list with schools like that, okay? So definitely relook at your school list. You don't want to have schools where you have to have the SAT when you can get all these schools that are test optional. Thanks much. I hope that helps. Bye-bye now.